If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's that magical time of year. But amidst the festivities, you should celebrate your health too. With all the delicious treats and holiday cheer, it's easy to let healthy habits slip. But just a few simple choices can help you enjoy the season without the stress of extra pounds. Make time for physical activity, eat in moderation, and focus on your well-being. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska to learn more. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Early break. He brings them in and teaches them how to be Santa Claus.
So what do you do if like a 16-year-old wants to sit on the lap? What do you do? There's a protocol.
There. What do we do? How do we handle it? Not
you
so
stand.
fast.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm going to stand up next to you.
Clause but not approved. Right.
Bunch of college girls.
Right. No. It becomes no.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's year-end tax saving season, and Acres is offering extraordinary buyer incentive programs. Get 20% off select late model John Deere large ag equipment. And with a special 24-month interest waiver, you can upgrade your fleet and save even more. Visit your local Acres store or go to acres.com to choose from the widest selection of John Deere tractors, combines, planters, and sprayers. Act now. Incentives expire December 31st, 2024. Financing programs are approved with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in to the Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos, back live here as we got done with our replay from that 6 to 7 of the Malone radio show. Talking a lot of Chicago sports in that one. Me and John Goodwin, both Chicago fans of pretty much all sports up there. And yeah, it's been a bad year everywhere but the Cubs. Yeah, I think Chicago, pro team-wise anyways, just been a really tough year. But before we bring in the host of the Don't Punt Hour, DeMornay Pierson-El on the Yellow VIP line, really understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. One more time tonight, I do want to remind you guys, today is a big day for the 1890 Nebraska NIL Collective. So this week is the Together We Win campaign for 1890 Nebraska. 100% of your contribution goes to directly student athletes in NIL. NIL is the name of the game now, and retaining and retracting talent to Nebraska, and we need your help. To contribute, text NEBNIL to 801-801 or go to 1890nebraska.com. Every dollar counts, and football contributions will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So they'll match you all the way up to $250,000 for any football contributions. Let's rally together, Husker Nation. Together we win. Again, text NEBNIL to 801-801 or go to 1890nebraska.com. This campaign does go through this Friday, December 20th. 93.7 The Ticket will also match $5,000 if all 93 counties donate today. I got to say, looking through the counties here, the Northeast, we need a little bit more help there. Shout out Cedar County, my alma mater. We have officially gotten a donation. I'd love to find out who that was for my home area there, but a lot of the Northeast, we still got quite a few counties up there we'd love to check off so we can go ahead and match up to that $5,000. Otherwise, there's a few when you get out too far out western Nebraska as well. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and do it. Let's bring him in. The host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El on the Yellow VIP line. DeMornay, how's it going on a Tuesday night?
It's going another day closer to game day. Excited to see that.
Yeah, and we're just in an awesome area right now because, yes, it's the Pinstripe Bowl. I get it. It's not the cream of the crop when it comes to bowl games, but at least we get to watch Husker football for one more game. Also get to watch Husker volleyball for one more game. And then we have Nebraska basketball. They'll get an opportunity, I believe, on Sunday before they kind of wrap up for the Christmas break here. But it's nice to have some fall sports still in the mix to watch this time around. We got to do it last year with Nebraska volleyball. Obviously, they made it all the way to the championship, unfortunately falling to Texas, who Texas got eliminated for even the Final Four this year around. But we'll get to watch Husker volleyball again, and now also get to watch a little bit of Husker football one last time before the season's over. And kind of on that note, I do want to focus on some Husker football. In particular, the more I haven't necessarily gone through this every day with you because it just moves so much, and I wanted to give it a little bit of a cushion. But we're at the point now where we got a lot of names in the portal. Nebraska, I believe, is up to 23. Purdue, really tough for Purdue because you got to remember, Purdue doesn't necessarily have the walk-on program that Nebraska did. They've lost 25 guys already to the portal. Nebraska's losing guys to the portal, but they just had such a big roster size already because of that walk-on program. But to see Purdue leading number one, Nebraska is at number two with 23 guys hitting the portal. And then schools like Indiana, you can imagine, doing a really good job retaining talent. But let's just quick go through it. These are the guys that we know are outgoing, that are hitting the portal, or in the portal right now, I should say. So the tight end, Nate Borkacher, real bummer because he only has 1 year of eligibility left. And, you know, he played pretty well at the end of the stretch for us. We also got the defensive back, Kobe Bretz, Dwight Boodle, the second. I think that was a tough one for a lot of people. Jamari Butler, Malachi Coleman. Mm-hmm. We do know Keanu Davis. I don't know if we can really see these guys even ever hit the portal because they go in and then they get a phone call immediately after. So Davis goes to the portal, immediately turns around, stays on Nebraska. So he's staying. Dante Dowdell, the latest of the bunch that we find out, he's on his way out the door. Gabe Irvin, Makai Baer, Devon Hall, Jacob Hood, Vincent Jackson, Daniel Kalen, who has committed to Virginia, Isaiah McMorris, AJ Rawns. We got Brody Tagaloa, Stephon Thompson heading along with Pot Roast and Tony White down at Florida State. Princewell Umanyalan heading down to Ole Miss. And then we have Wallen, defensive lineman, hasn't decided yet. And then James Williams is going to Florida State. Now let's talk about the guys coming in really quick because there was some big ones and why I kind of want to bring it in today. So we got Kevin Gallick from New Hampshire, 1 year of eligibility left. Then we got Jalen George. That one's new. East Tennessee State, 2 years left, defensive lineman. Jack McAllister, punter out of Washington. And Williams Winari, big grab, probably the biggest grab so far for the Huskers in the portal. Grab him from Missouri, edge rusher, still got 4 years of eligibility. Was like a highly 5-star prospect getting recruited. Since his first year has dropped, but I think most schools, if you want to look at the stars, got him anywhere between 93, 95. So still a highly scouted out player that a lot of teams would like to add on. Going through all of that, that's a lot of guys to hit the portal, but you knew that was coming. But we did get 4 names coming in here as well. Again, Williams Winari, the edge rusher out of Missouri, and you could even argue adding Jalen George just because of what we've lost on the defensive line to get another veteran guy in there. And then another punter in Jack McAllister. Thoughts on that? Anything that really sticks out to you as far as guys leaving or guys coming in?
You know, we've hit things. You know, the Dante Dowdell that was a bit surprising. It is what it is. Like I said, I mean, they're still cutting numbers down.
Yeah,
and I think you'll see a lot more once the bowl game is done and over with. You know, some freshmen hopped in the portal early that, you know, redshirted. Davon, Isaiah, I know for a fact, Danny as well. It's just kind of the situation, you know what it is or whatnot. But they went into we went into the portal and saying, you know, certain pieces and certain players that they were looking for with you know, more seasons playing, veteran players to kind of plug and play. I mean, he said that, so I don't think that, you know, that's the thing that's going to be over, you know, quickly. I think they're definitely going to evaluate that, but Rule, you know, kind of goes by, you know, the rules and whatnot. He whatever's next up, he'll handle that. He might hit some things, but whatever's in front of him, that's what he's going to conquer right now. And as of right now, handling the situation with bringing in the new coaches, solidifying, you know, what the roles were on the offensive side and what that was going forward, and solidifying, you know, what the defensive pieces that we lost in the coaches and getting that set up. Now he's focused on the game and whatnot. They plucked some pieces early on. I think it's not over with, and I don't want to, you know, give a grade or anything like that, but veteran players who've played, you know, at the high level for multiple seasons and whatnot want to come here, and I think there definitely is an intent to plug and play. They're not going to bring, you know, some of those guys here and not play them. We're losing a lot, you know, we're losing a lot on defense. So I won't be surprised, you know, if they go back in the portal to plug and play, you know, some of those positions, whether that's in the secondary, whether that's linebacker, D-line, et cetera. So it's good because they got some things that they got some players that they really wanted or really graded high. already done and settled with. So that's kind of done. That's kind of done and over with. So when you kind of come back to the board and see exactly, you know, what pieces to let go or what pieces have to be, you know, replaced and everything like that, it'll make things a lot more clear. You understand there, and you can really, you know, dive into, you know, player personnel and go out and find, you know, a hidden gem that, you know, just needs a chance or you know, a bigger chance, you know, on a bigger stage. You know, the guy at Indiana did that with the smaller schools out of, you know, Virginia. He brought in, you know, top quality dudes, not only from, you know, JMU, other places around. Mm-hmm. So I think you'll see a lot of people, you know, grade and really hit on players, not just, you know, the people that have been on the Division I level. They might go, you know, FCS, you know, CIA and other leagues to get quality players that, you know, can step in a role and really impact.
Yeah, I believe Bill Belichick's first official recruit down at UNC wasn't even FBS. Like, I could be wrong on that. I want to say it was an FCS school. But yeah, I mean, this era is just crazy to try to package because you obviously got the 105, you got the transfer players. You also just got this. How do you feel about the December transfer portal window anyways? Like, can we just, I'll be honest, like, I don't even think it's that egregious. Like, why do we need it? There's one in spring. Wait till then.
I don't like it at all.
It's just has guys thinking about leaving before the season's even over. That's why I hate about it.
I think I don't have a problem with kids leaving for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. I think, you know, some type of parameters need to be set in. I don't think people's feelings change, you know, every day. I mean, married couples fight and get mad and angry. One day you're at each other's throats. The next day, you know, you make up and everything like that. I mean, it's the same thing with football. It's a marriage. You're married to the coaches. You're married to the program and everything like that. You're going to have good and bad days. The easy thing is, you know, to run and everything like that. And certain situations and whatnot cause for you to hop into, you know, the transfer portal. That's not a problem. But the fact that they can hop in and hop out at will, and you're opening up windows for them to express that even more, I think that's going to be bad for the integrity of football, just because if you offer kids more money or a tampering situation and everything like that, like there hasn't been any, you know, stipulations or rules put on with talking to people, you know, early or such things as that. So you telling me that these kids not going to go through third parties to get that done? I mean, these coaches aren't going to do that through third parties, whether that's a booster, whether that's somebody like the Michigan situation of sending people to places and everything like that. So people are mad and complain about the situations of what's going on, but yet the NCAA hasn't, you know, made anything like, look, this is what it's going to be to kind of help weed things out. You know, if you hop in there, I feel like once you go to a new place, you have to be there at least for 2 years. Because your situation can change. You know, people have to grow up. They're immature kids. They're figuring life out. They're understanding, you know, the challenges of life. And this is, you know, the things that come with it. So don't, you know, make emotional changes that might impact the rest of your life because of it's not what you want it to be right now. So I don't like the rules at all, just because I don't feel like they're really helping or shaping kids at all. And it just kind of, it is what it is. This is how it's going to go. Either, you know, the strongest survive type situation. And I don't think that's good for the brand of college football at all.
No, it's terrible for the brand of college football. I mean, the thing about college football is the traditions and the culture, and that it's different from the NFL because there is a real sentimental attachment outside of just the paycheck. And we're heading towards an era where that sentimental attachment's hanging on by just a few threads now, because you see it with guys all the time. And again, this is not the player's fault. The problem is like, you're going to have the adults in the room figure out ways to fix it. And I do think one of the ways to fix it, screw the December portal window. Why do we need an extra middle of the year portion? I get it. That's typically when semesters end, if kids, you know, need to get out. But to your point, like it's a weirdly fitting analogy, but it really does come down to like relationships in a way. Like you feel different every day. And typically the days you lose it, you wake up with remorse. Like, man, why did I act up like that? I should have just stayed consistent. Match up to the football world. There's guys that transfer that end up having a horrible time. One of those QBs is entering the draft this year who played on a horrible Florida State team who transferred, who would have probably been better off staying where he was at. That'd be DJ Ugalele going to the NFL draft. Like, I don't know where he gets looked at all. He's certainly got some measurables, but that last season at Florida State was just so bad that he's one of those guys that if you just would have stuck it out, probably would have been better off for it. But we just see it all the time. I think you really don't need it. It's December 9th to 28th. It's another portal window. Again, it's not the player's fault. But we are, I mean, you can tell me what you think happens, but I am convinced at this point that all December has become is a chapter, unless the coaches explicitly tells you, a lot of players just going out there, getting a number and coming back and seeing if they can get some more an NIL number. Like, it just, none of it feels very real. It just, and again, this isn't the player's fault. It just feels like a negotiating period for student athletes, not even what the transfer portal is supposed to be. It's turned into, from the 9th to the 28th, we just have college kids negotiating NIL contracts. Like, this is where someone's got to draw the line here, because that's exactly what's happening, at least in my opinion. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I would agree with that. I think that's a smart, assessment of things and whatnot. It's like I said, I think it'll turn into a lot of. There's gonna be that, and then there's gonna be the situations to where I think you'll hear people come out about things to where they hopped in the transfer portal and then try and come back and they get denied, and then they're making a big fuss about it. And it's going to be an attention thing. It's going to be a distraction. I think that's what it's going to boil down to with things and everything like that. But it's completely unnecessary. The same thing with the early signing day stuff. I get that to a certain point, but I mean, when I was coming up, you had the 1 day February. I think it was like the first week of February.
Yep.
That was signing day. Now, I think there's 3 signing days. There's an early period.
Why did we make it so damn complicated? That's what I don't understand. We just made it more and more complicated. I cut you off. Sorry, but I agree. It pisses me off.
No, I mean, because now, I feel like that's going to create problems, because now if you tell a coach, well, I don't want to sign at the earlier signing day, now they thinking you don't want to go there at a particular time, when it's them trying to, fluctuate their numbers to get more people in for the old class that's already, conquered and whatnot, and they added more people or having more numbers to make a recruit more. Like, so I think it's going to cause friction with a lot of places. And that's just one thing. Like I said, you can say, oh, I want to hop in there, and, you hop back out for the wrong reasons or whatnot. And like I said, it's going to become a point where I think you'll see more and more where people will speak up on, well, they did not need to come back and for these reasons or X, Y, and Z or whatever. I mean, we've already seen it, with the Florida State situation. I mean, not the Florida State, the linebacker. I mean, his negotiations was a little bit outrageous, but they denied it. You know what I mean? I mean, they have every right to, but again, it's a distraction, and it seems and feels like it's getting further and further away of what college ball, was kind of about. And there's always going to be the looming over top of, okay, well, what about the money? Saban talked about it. His wife talked about it, where these kids are not caring about, what are you doing here and everything like that. They care about the money. How many teams have, how many, first round draft picks have went to Alabama, sat behind, Heisman Trophy winners, Dopa Walker Trophy winners and everything like that? They didn't complain about it. How many teams, how many people from, LSU and some of those teams back then where they sat behind greatness, and, where did they turn and still ended out, thugging it and ended out on top of things. It's not all about, getting what you want right now. And I think that's kind of the culture of just babying kids and coddling kids. And it's going to be a whole mess. I think you're going to hear a lot of people complaining, a lot of recruits were complaining about things when, the system wasn't broke. And yet, you added things to it, and now it's a circus. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're just totally in an era where I couldn't tell you what the next major change is going to be. And to your point, it's tough because it sucks that I have to keep saying this, but I just know people out there will think, man, this guy doesn't want the players to get paid. No, that's not what it is. The players deserve to get some pay. But what we have done, and when I say we, I mean the adults in the NCAA and the commissioners of the Big Ten, the SEC, ACC, the Power Fours, if you will, what they have done has set up a time period that incentivizes players to go out there and negotiate as opposed to do anything but focus on school and even the sport. It has become a full-on negotiation because, again, not Emmett Johnson's problem. If Emmett Johnson didn't go to the portal, and again, I have no idea if this is what happened. I'm assuming he goes into the portal, he goes back, gets a better number from the NIL department, and decides to stay. If he doesn't go to the portal, that pay bump probably doesn't ever happen for him. So it is a thing where, like, if you're the player, you kind of have to play the game. And they didn't make the game. You know, all these, it would have been fine if we just would have had NAL, but it's on top of the opened up different portal dates. Now you got multiple opportunities to get the hell out of Dodge. And now you also have early National Signing Day. You've also limited a lot of the rules and stipulations about transferring and, like, what makes it valid. Do you have to sit out at all? They've pretty much erased a lot of those about sitting out for anything if you do decide to transfer. So we're just at this point where it's so far from college football, but it's really none of the players' fault. The adults in the room have created a system to where now it's in the best interest of college kids who are there. I don't care what you say. It's not an old school take. You should still be there to get an education, or now just focused on negotiating. Go ahead.
You know what's crazy to me? If in any other situation with giving a minor amount of money, you have to hit a certain age limit or there's stipulations to where, you know, things can get in or whatnot. I don't understand why they didn't take that model and set up some type of trust funds to where you get, you know, percentage of the money throughout your college career. And then when you hit, you know, your fourth year, you can get all of that, you know, because you're handing 17, 18, 19-year-olds, you know, a lot of money and expecting them to make sound decisions. That is not going to happen at all.
No.
If you're sending kids to get educated, you're sending them to grow up and whatnot, and yet you're creating future problems for later on down the line. I'm cool with getting paid, but I also don't think an 18 or 19-year-old deserves to have over $100K just at will and will blow through that and create, you know, bad spending habits. And college, like I said, college football, you have a safety net. College for athletes, you have a safety net. Everything designed out, what you're going to do majority of the day, off season, whenever, class, tutors, and everything's situated. What happened after 4 years or 3 years of bad spending habits, not really, you know, managing stuff well and everything like that, when these athletes leave the university and that's it? They you know, those doors are closed, but yet they're used to something for 4 years. Like, you're setting kids up for failure. And if it's all about, you know, the kids and it's all about X, Y, and Z, why has there not been stipulations put or parameters to put in place to make sure, you know, kids don't mess over themselves? You could put in grade point average, you know, if you to maintain, you know, a 3.2, you know what I'm saying? You can get more money. Like, you can make it point, you know, like goal driven to where now they have to apply themselves and be on time and dedicate themselves to do certain things to make sure, you know, they at least get, you know, a couple extra, you know, $100 or whatever. But that's the part that I don't understand. Like, who said it's okay for kids to kind of have that? You're creating problems for them. You're creating problems that you know, I feel like, you know, then you might need to, you know, have more counselors available to them, because their family members or whatnot are going to be on the prowl, coming to them, asking them for things and whatnot. And it's just a lot of unseen problems that I feel like are going to be happening over these next 2-3 years that you'll hear horror stories about. And universities have the power to do stuff. The NCAA has the power to do stuff and make changes to where you can kind of eliminate that. And yet they're just, you know, letting the water go with it.
Yeah, that's like the best analogy for it. It's just water, and they're letting the water carve its own path. However, they don't give a damn at all, is what it feels like. Now, you can be a university or an NIL collective. I'm sure there's been ideas, maybe even some paperwork done where they do set some driven goals. But the problem is there's other adults out there in college football who will say, oh, that sucks. You got to average this GPA to get that. We'll scratch that out of there. You can just make the money straight up if you come here. We won't put those goal-based incentives on there because there's no rules around anything. It's just the wild, wild west. And it's going to continue to be the wild, wild west. And it's just kind of a bummer because there's good people out there that want to have these kids make money in a responsible way. And then there's other people out there. Yeah, the kids make money, but I'll line my pockets up too. And long-term wise, I don't really give a damn as long as I make my money now. And if they make their money now, nobody will complain about it. I don't really care about what their lives look like in the future. Like we're not even talking about kids that, they didn't grow up in an area where a household that had a lot of money. I don't care if, you live in a nice neighborhood and your parents are both making six figures and you're upper middle class and you're playing at Ohio State. If you start making insane amounts of money, even if you're one of those well brought up kids, that's still an insane amount of money to manage at that age that you're probably not going to do a good job. And considering 3% of those guys make it to the NFL, to your point, what happens to the kids who are just spending all that college money through college, don't get drafted, and now they're used to every year making six figures plus? The really exceptional athletes making close to $1 million. And then after that fifth year, all of a sudden you go from $1 million to hopefully you got your degree. Otherwise, you're looking at minimum, wage to whatever trade or whatever you got to find to get work. Like, that's why that degree part's important, because it is 3%. And you might have to get to a point where you almost force those guys to minor in business finance, because it's a lot of money. And it is going to suck to see if we do see an ESPN 30 for 30.
I think mandatory business classes, mandatory situations for all 4 years in college. You know what I mean? Why are we not, I don't care if the university picks out or has a list of things to invest in or things to kind of show them kind of do things and whatnot. Look, we have this list of things. You can pick whatever you want off this list, but you have to allocate at least a certain percentage to at least, if you leave away from here with a degree, with enough money for a house, with enough money, to get your car stuff situated and everything like that, and to kind of sustain yourself, or else they're going to blow it. You might have a percentage that might, be smart and take care of things and whatnot. But again, that's going to take you 2 years of development to understand and of budgeting and certain things to kind of get that situated and whatnot. And that's the part that pisses me off the most, because it's like, y'all are going to create new problems for tomorrow, for the tomorrow's world. And it's just like, you're not saying anything or not trying to do anything about that or whatnot. And when when the athletes are out there playing ball and everything like that and bringing university money, pretty much that's all they care about. I mean, that's pretty much what they're saying. And it's sad that it came to this for, that to be realized.
Yep. And I'm not saying all people are like that. There's good adults in the room. I do think Rule's probably one of those guys, but we just need more of them. Like, you just look around college football, and it is totally the wild, wild west of NIL. And you're absolutely right. Like, just handing people immense amount of wealth, look at everybody who's ever won the lottery, doesn't just guarantee them a great life. Like, you need to actually understand how that's going to affect them. And it doesn't mean they don't get the money. To your point, I think the best way to do it is just not all at once. Find ways where it just kind of slowly accumulates over time, so that way they get used to spending with less and not just seeing a massive sum hit their account and then feeling like they can go spend like crazy for the next 4 years until they graduate. We're way over on the first one here. No worries, though. Plenty of Husker football NIL news to talk about, and we'll definitely get to talk about one more Husker football game as well. But on the other side, I do want to switch it up. We'll talk a little bit more Husker volleyball. Then I want to dive into the NBA. There was a Nuggets-Kings game yesterday with a minute 15 to go, 7 lead changes. The NBA is interesting this year. There's a lot of teams that I think if you're not closely keeping an eye on the NBA, you're just going to be shocked to kind of see what the state of it is. Also, they got to figure out these all-star games. We'll talk about the rules and how they're going to do it this year and how they want to select the all-star teams. I don't think it's great. We'll get your thoughts as well. Don't go anywhere. Dumb Punt Hour with the host, as always, the morning Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line. We'll throw it to break. Talk to you on the other side.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly cloudy skies and light winds, and high around 46. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a light breeze and a low around 23. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return with light winds and a high near 38. Meteorologist Kyle Pledger for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henry's at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
At Anderson Ford, we have commission-free guides who are paid to give you a great experience, not make a sale, so you can choose the best vehicle for you. During the Get Holiday Ready sales event, lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for only $379 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock on the 1003769, $375 per month. Lease for 36 months with a free credit, 7,500 miles per year, $4,750 to assign, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new redelivery from Anderson Auto Group by 12/25. See delivery details.
Early break. He brings him in and teaches him how to be Santa Claus.
So what do you do if like a 16-year-old wants to sit on the lap. What do you do? There's a protocol.
Protocol. What do we do? How do we handle it? Not
you
so
stand.
fast.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm going to stand up next to you.
Clause, but not approved. Right.
Bunch of college girls.
Right. No. Oh, becomes no.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arnold on 1s and 2s, wrapping things up here on the Don't Punt Hour. Well, actually, excuse me, we got a couple more segments. We went long in the first one. But don't worry, on this one, I do want to tap into some more Husker volleyball. Good morning. I just came across the stat. And again, it just always kind of puts into perspective how dominant of a program John Cook has put together, in particular this year. So if you just look at the Elite Eight teams, Nebraska's played 6 out of those 8 Elite Eight teams already. And between those, they went 5-1. If you count all of the Wisconsin games, 7-1, and we won all of those games 22-6 for sets. And if you really want to get crazy and take away the Penn State loss, then Nebraska versus teams that are currently in that Elite Eight outside of Penn State went 7-0 with a 21-3 set differential against Elite Eight teams. I mean, I'd be hard pressed. You could probably look at Pitt pretty close to just winning percentage wise, but it says a lot, not only when you're just beating good teams, but if you take away that Penn State loss, you beat them on a differential of 21-3. And even if you want to add it, unfortunately, you got beat in that game. So 22-6. I mean, that's that alone. What does that say about this Husker volleyball team? And it really just kind of feels like Pitt and the Huskers, knock on wood, just feel untouchable.
I mean, they put in the work,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, like I said it yesterday, regardless of what the coaches have said or whatever the media has said and everything like that, they have responded and taken things to a different level. They're operating on a different pace than other people. And, good luck to whoever, shows up to face them, because they're not playing around. And when it comes to, proving people wrong or showing up and everything like that, they've done that. I mean, this is, 2 years with majority of this team and everything like that. Everybody was young. They have a good nucleus, and they got some superstar seniors and some good veteran leadership, that have carried them, through some of these moments or whatnot. But I mean, these ladies have been focused. These coaches have been focused. They've done a good job with, making sure that they're mentally ready, that they know their assignments and everything like that. So they've been dominant. They've been, tenacious with their attitude and applying pressure to people all season long. So it's not going to be easy for anybody that lines up across to them, because they're literally, not caring about anything, and it's not going to be a close game.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. I'm curious how Penn State, you give Penn State credit, though, the one team that knocked Nebraska out of those 6 of the 8 teams that we've played so far that are currently in the Elite Eight. But again,
that was earlier in the season, wasn't it? Or about midway?
That was late. But then they turned around. I believe it was the next day immediately, and I can't remember who they swept. But it was late in the year. Penn State played a hell of a game, but Nebraska just didn't quite have it. So again, that's why you got to knock on wood. Penn State, you really just go across the Big Ten. You're going to find some teams in there that, if they're having a good day, are capable of beating the Huskers. But to your point, like, the thing that always gives you hope about this Husker team is when things don't go planned, worst case scenario, they take a loss, because in Husker volleyball, a loss is just like unheard of at times. They always respond well. Like, it's very different than the Husker football program. It's here we go again, but it's like, okay, here we go again. Wake up. We're going to start just dominating these games. Like, we're going to turn around and go on a run here, because that was unacceptable. Like, their here we go again is very different. It's like, that wasn't us. Let's get back to being Husker volleyball. And unfortunately for the men's side, for football, the here we go again has been a lack of confidence. The Husker volleyball team, it seems like if they take a tough loss, they almost have more confidence going into the next one, knowing that we got to improve. Yeah, they got to prove a point.
It's like, okay, watch this. You're right. Thank you for the reset. Watch this.
Mm-hmm. And Harper Murray, I'll give her just a ton of credit. She's been phenomenal all year. The entire volleyball squad altogether. But, to go out there after losing to Texas in a sweep in the national championship, and to have the courage to go ahead and being like, we'll be back immediately after taking a sweep, and just straight face, just looked pissed, did not look happy. And then, of course, got dragged through the social media mud with that, which is just always awful. And if you're a student athlete, just don't pay attention. If you're hearing people on X, complaining about student athletes, kind of probably low lives, you don't really need to care about their opinion anyways. If they're in their 30s, talking about 18-year-olds that they disagree with. But obviously, just tough summer events went down. But she's really just had a hell of a year and responded in just a phenomenal way. And it's going to be just a beloved Husker.
They were talking about her crazy.
Oh, it was bad.
All off season, and I hope she kept the receipts, because ain't nobody saying nothing. And she's walking whatever type of walk, she's standing on business, whatever you want to say. She handling what she handling, and it ain't close.
Oh, that's the best part of it.
She didn't silence a lot of her critics, and like I said, she recently posted things about people coming at her crazy and whatnot. More fuel to the fire. Give them something to watch.
It's great just to have a player of that confidence and that caliber to be able to deliver as well. Even if they don't, I'm not even going to say it. I got a lot of trust in this Husker volleyball team. Yeah, but you just give her a ton of credit, because you're right. It was a rough period. And you just see that from time to time, there'll be a certain athlete that just gets dragged through the mud on social media, sometimes for a few days, sometimes for weeks. And unfortunately for Harper Murray, being the end of the volleyball, the entire summer, it was bad. And for her to respond and not only be the person to say that, but she's a big part of these Husker wins. I mean, she's been dominant this year. So not only, if you're one of those volleyball players that weren't buying into it, we're clowning on her, man, you got to look her in the eye. Not only after the Husker volleyball team kicks their butt, most times it's a three-set sweep. Harper Murray is one of the leaders on that team that if you were talking crazy, you could be like, she wasn't lying. She came out this year, and not just her, you throw everybody in there. John Cook and company, it's been a phenomenal year for the Husker volleyball program, and they got possibly 2 more games left to hoist up a national championship trophy. With that being said, we'll throw it to our final break here. Pierson-El, have you seen the new NBA All-Star formats, how they want to select teams this year? Perfect. I'll be happy to explain it to you and get your live reaction to it. Don't go anywhere. We'll do that next. Don't Punt Hour. We got the former Husker, Good Morning Pierson-El on the ILO VIP line. We'll throw it to the final break of this show. Talk to you in a little bit.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
It's year-end tax saving season, and Acres is offering extraordinary buyer incentive programs. Get 20% off select late model John Deere large ag equipment. And with a special 24-month interest waiver, you can upgrade your fleet and save even more. Visit your local Acres store or go to acres.com to choose from the widest selection of John Deere tractors, combines, planters, and sprayers. Act now. Incentives expire December 31st, 2024. Financing programs are approved credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henry's at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
It's that magical time of year. But amidst the festivities, you should celebrate your health too. With all the delicious treats and holiday cheer, it's easy to let healthy habits slip. But just a few simple choices can help you enjoy the season without the stress of extra pounds. Make time for physical activity, eat in moderation, and focus on your well-being. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska to learn more. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
Husker fans, it's time to make a difference. From December 16th to the 20th, every Husker fan has the chance to drive the success of Nebraska athletics through NIL. Whether it's $10, $1,000, or more, your contribution counts. And football fans, don't miss the chance to double your impact. Every gift to Husker football will be matched dollar for dollar up to $250,000. So visit 1890nebraska.com or text NEB-NIL to 801-801 to contribute today. Together, we win.
Early break. He brings them in and teaches them how to be Santa Claus.
So what do you do if like a 16-year-old wants to sit on the lap? What do you do? There's a protocol.
Protocol. What do we do? How do we handle it? Oh, not
you
so
stand.
fast.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm going to stand up next to you.
Clause, but not approved. Right.
Bunch of college girls.
Right. No. Oh, becomes no.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment of the Dumb Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos at 1040 O Street on the corner here. Real quick, forgot to mention it. Really the main headline of this thing. Alexi Rodriguez also nominated as a finalist for National Player of the Year. So again, just more accolades to go with what has already been a phenomenal season for Husker volleyball. Now Alexi Rodriguez, a finalist for National Player of the Year, along with 3 others. And then from Augie on the text line, yes, that Penn State loss for Husker volleyball was late in the year, and it was on the road, playing at Penn State, which you could argue one of the toughest places to play on the road in volleyball. Obviously, you think of Nebraska, Wisconsin, Penn State, one of those schools you think of as well. All right, enough on volleyball. We got a little bit of time here left. Good morning, Pierson-El. Let's talk about this All-Star game in the NBA. We got the new 2025 NBA All-Star Game format. And I'm just going to read it out to you, and I want to get your honest reaction. Why don't they just don't go back to the East and West? Makes so much more sense to me, but they love getting complicated. So 24 NBA All-Star selections divided evenly into 3 8-player teams. So that's the first new thing. 4th team is a Castrol Rising Stars champion. Honorary team general managers, TNT analyst Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, and Candace Parker. So those are going to be your 4 teams right there. Barkley, O'Neal, and Smith draft their teams' rosters from a pool of 24 NBA All-Star selections. Parker is the GM of the Castrol Rising Stars champion. 2 teams meet in one semifinal game, Game 1, and the remaining 2 teams meet in another semifinal, Game 2. The winners of those semifinals of Game 1 and 2 advance to the championship game, Game 3. Winner of each game is the first team to reach or surpass 40 points. That's the format. What do you think?
What NBA star is going to play in multiple games with playing 80-something games a season, not including playoffs?
Yeah, I don't know. This thing stinks.
That's not good. You wonder why they losing ratings and everything like that. How about do it like the lottery? Put certain people's heads on Powerballs, roll the wheel, and have fans pick them. How about that?
Yeah, it'd be better than this. Like, this is just why. What are we doing? What are we doing with the 4th team?
Who's going to pay attention to that? Who's going to sit down there through 3 different games or 4 different games and sit like, no, what are we doing? No. And some of these older players and whatnot, who is going to play? You telling me LeBron James is going to play in 3 games outside of, the season? No. For what? Absolutely not. No. Nope, not having it.
I just don't understand this at all. Like, what is this too with the Castrol Rising Stars champion is going to be the 4th team as well? Like, okay, cool ad plug.
After the dunk contest, I'm turning the whole thing off. That's how I feel.
Why do we make things so? We're just talking about this with college football, right? You get the early National Signing Day period, and then you also get multiple portal windows, and now we're at a point where there's just so much going on, it's hard to organize. If you look at the NBA and these All-Star games, it just feels like the same thing. Just go the best players from the East, play the best players from the West, and the only problem that we've had with the All-Star game is competitiveness. That's what you need to fix. You can do all this cute stuff about making it a tournament, having honorary team general managers. If you don't fix the competitiveness, it's not going to matter. So that's what always blows my mind.
Rock, paper, scissors, and see who and do all the winners that win, they on one team, all the losers on one team. That'd be funny. Make it go like that. Like, do something, that'll make it interesting. People are, oh, okay, I want to see that. Who wants to see 4 different games before the actual game?
Especially games like, let's be real, these guys aren't. We might get some games, but we're not going to see a lot of competitiveness. It'll get competitive towards the end.
Steph just played in the Olympics. Half of the All-Stars just played in the Olympics. Mind you, now they're competing in season to go after a championship, which, is a big deal and what matters. And halfway through the season, you want to add 3 or 4 more unnecessary games? Absolutely not. And I guarantee you will hear backlash from the players.
Yeah, did you hear Kevin Durant's thoughts?
No, I didn't.
You can imagine what it was. Immediately hated it. I think he used a few
He
swear
ain't
words.
playing. I'm good.
Well, it's like, it goes back to me. It's like we overcomplicate this stuff all the time. And like the fourth team being the Castro Rising Stars champion, like cool. I guess it's a cool way to kind of like involve it. Just stop making it complicated. Fix the competitiveness. And if you fix that, all of a sudden you have a competitive NBA All-Star game that everybody loves to watch. Maybe have something to do kind of that Kobe year. Like go back to what worked. And I get it. It was a big year because of Kobe Bryant tragic passing. But what they did was tie it to charities that you're not going to go out there and sell when you got a charity that you're supposed to represent and you're just going to loaf it out there. I mean, that stuff helps motivate the guys to do something good. That's not only an entertaining product, helps out the community as well. But that's the format, the 2025 NBA All-Star Game format. It's a mess, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll be surprised if I am, though. Yeah. Appreciate the time, as always. The morning Pierson-El. We'll do it one more time tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Uncut with Kyle Perry up next.